now.
Live from across mid-Missouri, this is KRCG 13 live at 6.
Good evening. The extreme heat today forced a Boone County MoDOT crew to cut their day short.
High temperatures had repaired.
Their job is laying hot asphalt on a two-lane highway under the hot, blistering sun. They're filling potholes on Route UU near the Interstate 70 Midway exit to prepare for an upcoming chip and seal operation next month. MoDOT crews work throughout the morning until about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. They quit early because of dangerous hot temperatures.
It's different. We don't do it year-round. You know, we got snow during the snow season, and this lasts maybe 2 or 3 months out of the year. So we don't do this all the time.
They only do it when conditions are safe to avoid dehydration and possibly heat stroke.
The hot sun takes its toll on MoDOT workers throughout the summer months. For some, air temperature is not the only problem with the heat.
The fresh asphalt is more than 300 degrees. Workers say there's no escaping the heat under their feet. Cold water poured on the hot surface sounds like a frying egg.
Asphalt comes out at right around 300, so if you're standing on that at 300 and then the air temperature at 195, it's pretty hot.
MoDOT crews make sure they have plenty of fluids on hand during the day. They drink extra water the night before a job that's meant for the morning and not the afternoon. Mark Slavitt, KRCG 13, Boone County.
MoDOT provides sunscreen to all highway crew workers.
And now, your KRCG 13 Storm Vision first weather.
Well, it is a little hot and a little humid, but you know what? The weather really isn't that much, isn't really bad for a backyard barbecue. We are at a new location this week. We are in Jefferson City, but this place has got a pool, a nice little umbrella here to shade at least part of the pool. So if you don't want to get the full exposure of the sun, there is a little bit of a place for you to hang out. But we definitely have full sunshine here in a large backyard. Your forecast this evening is going to remain mostly clear, although there were a few pop-up showers across the area here earlier this afternoon. We're looking at pretty much dry skies now. In fact, when I look up, I don't see much in the way of any cloud cover. Temperatures have been warm today. We did make it into the mid-90s across most locations. 92 right now in Columbia. Jefferson City's 94. The lake warmer at 95, but when you factor in that humidity, your heat index feels like we are in the upper 80 or upper 90s, close to 100. And in fact, in times today, we did cross over 100 degrees with your heat index tonight. Mostly clear skies, a little bit muggy, and still a few clouds, and we'll find those temperatures in low 70s tomorrow morning. We'll talk a little bit more about the backyard barbecue coming up in my full forecast. Back to you.
Thank you, Zach. In other news tonight, 2 people are being held on $1 million bond for a fatal shooting at a motel in St. Robert. 29-year-old Charles Howard and 43-year-old Libby Charles are both charged with the first-degree murder, armed criminal action, and first-degree assault in the shooting of 33-year-old Lila Carpenter. Howard told police he'd been involved in an ongoing dispute with Carpenter and a man who was with her at the motel. Court documents say Howard, Charles, and 2 others went to the motel with a gun with the intention of settling the dispute. Howard and Charles are being held in the Pulaski County Jail. In an unrelated incident, a woman is in critical condition after a shooting in Pulaski County yesterday afternoon. The victim was shot in her shoulder and chest. 32-year-old Sean Gregory is facing several charges, including domestic assault and armed criminal action. Officials say the shooting happened after the fight between Gregory and the victim. Gregory ran off, but then turned himself over to law enforcement in St. Robert. Gregory's being held in the Pulaski County Jail, also on a $1 million bond. A magazine cover is causing outrage across the country.
Some stores have chosen not to sell the new issue of Rolling Stone because the cover features a photo of Boston Marathon bombing suspect Yohar Tsarnaev. KRCG 13's Juliet Dreyer has more on both the local and national responses. Juliet?
Kermit, some people say it's a ploy to sell magazines. Others say the cover space should have been used to highlight marathon victims instead of the alleged bomber. Either way, if Rolling Stone printed this picture to get people talking, they certainly accomplished their goal.
has nothing to do with music, and I think it's totally inappropriate.
The face on August's cover of Rolling Stone isn't that of a rock star, but the surviving Boston Marathon bombing suspect Johar Tsarnaev. The subtext reading, "The Bomber," how a popular, promising student was failed by his family, fell into radical Islam, and became a monster.
To put him on the cover is weak, and it's shallow, and all they're doing is trying to sell magazines.
Many people are calling the decision insensitive and say the space should have been used to honor the victims rather than the alleged attacker. This man said he would have liked to have seen a story about 23-year-old victim Lingzi Liu, who was studying abroad in Boston when she was killed in the bombings.
I would have liked to have seen maybe a piece on her friends at Boston University and ask them what they think about these brothers who came here, got every opportunity in this country, and threw it back in people's faces and killed Americans.
Stores across the country have decided not to sell the August Rolling Stone. Hy-Vee announced on its Facebook yesterday that after listening to consumer complaints, they're urging their stores to refrain from displaying or selling the magazine. But this magazine distributor in Jefferson City says he will sell the controversial copy.
I believe in the First Amendment. I believe that it's anybody's right to publish anything in America, and then the public make their decision based on buying it or not buying it.
Rolling Stone issued a statement defending their decision to use Tsarnaev on the cover, saying the fact that Johar Tsarnaev is young and in the same age group as many of our readers makes it all the more important for us to examine the complexities of this issue and gain a more complete understanding of how a tragedy like this happens. Callie said he has about 6,000 copies of the magazine right now, and even if stores decide not to sell them, he can either return them to the publisher for credit or give them to the stores that do want to sell them. We want to hear what Mid-Missouri has to say about the controversial cover. Do you think it was insensitive? Will you buy the August issue? Tweet to us at KRCG 13 or like us on Facebook and weigh in there. Kermit?
We first showed you the images from this boat fire during yesterday's KRCG 13 Live at 6 broadcast, and we now know more details. The Missouri State Water Patrol says a Texas man had just refueled his boat at the 11-mile marker at the lake when it exploded as he attempted to restart it. 52-year-old Alan Wenicky suffered minor injuries. His 20-year-old son, though, was taken to the hospital with moderate injuries. It is hot outside, but it's even hotter on the grill.
We go live to this week's backyard barbecue next on KRCG 13 Live at 6.
You're watching KRCG 13 Live at 6 with Kermit Miller, Teresa Snow, Zach Paul with your Storm Vision forecast, and Rod Smith with sports. This is your source for news and information in Mid-Missouri. KRCG 13 Live at 6.
The way I keep connected has changed forever. Thanks to the new KRCG mobile app, getting news, weather, sports, and deals from my favorite spots has never been easier.
Download now for Android and iPhone.
The best in Mid-Missouri is in the palm of my hand.
Did you know bed bugs can lay up to 12 eggs a day? They're very small and hard to find.
Aces Pest Solutions uses certified detection canines to find the bed bugs. We can find them in minutes. Bed bugs are growing more and more resistant to conventional treatment, so Aces Pest Solutions is invested into the latest technology in thermal remediation. Instead of harmful chemicals, Aces uses heat. We treat the problem from the inside out. It's safe and effective. Bed bugs can't survive Aces Pest Solutions, and you can't afford to wait. Not one more night, not one more bite.
Rehagen Heating and Cooling has been helping families save on utility costs with water furnace for over 20 years. Water furnace geothermal systems use renewable energy found in your own backyard and are highly efficient.
The geothermal loop for this house is located right underneath my feet.
All units come with a 10-year warranty and currently offer a 30% tax credit. The savings are tremendous, and with Rehagen Heating and Cooling, you can rest easy knowing you have the most experienced team in Mid-Missouri taking care of you.
Please call Rehagen Heating and Cooling for an estimate on a water furnace geothermal system today.
It's not the miles, it's how you live them at Joe Mockins Volkswagen of Columbia. Come see the largest selection of Volkswagen vehicles in Mid-Missouri. Passat, Jetta, Beetle, over 200 new in stock. And get 3 years or 36,000 miles of no-charge scheduled maintenance. Or check out our large selection of pre-owned vehicles, including World Auto Certified pre-owned. And service your VW right here from 7:30 to 5:30 Monday through Friday till 3:30 on Saturdays. Live your miles at Joe Mockins Volkswagen of Columbia, 1200 Vanover, JoeMockinsVW.com.
Going Bonkers in Columbia is the place kids and families have grown to love. Have fun in their large indoor playground, play games in the arcade, and earn lots of great prizes. Enjoy pizza and other favorites at the food court. Don't forget to host your next birthday party at Going Bonkers, a kid's favorite.
Attention Mid-Missouri. Corwin Honda, Hyundai, and Nissan are proud to announce our 0% sales event. All new Corwin Hondas, Hyundais, and Nissans will be sold at 0% for 72 months. Not 48, not 60, but 0% for 72 months. All new vehicles, all 0% for 72 months. Don't pay interest on your next Honda, Hyundai, or Nissan. Corwin Honda, Hyundai, and Nissan. Right on the price, right on Missouri Boulevard, Jefferson City. Shop online, CorwinJeffCity.com.
It's a bank that's very much in tune with what's good for the greater Lynn area and now the other communities.
Refinancing your home could save you hundreds on your mortgage. Call the Capital Mortgage Solutions team today.
And now, your KRCG 13 Storm Vision Forecast with Zach Paul.
Well, it is another backyard Thursday night, another backyard barbecue. This is a rowdy group. They have got all sorts of little floaty tools. We've got a little rubber ducky mascot right here. They gave me a little leaping frog. I didn't bring my swim trunks, but apparently this is what I'm using to get into the pool. I'm not sure this is going to support me, but yeah, well, we'll see. Anyway, the winner today, Darla Ivan, she now joins me. Yeah, give her, yeah. She invited you guys out here, right? You guys got some great food. Darla, we are picking on creativity. Give us a little bit of a spiel on how did you come up with what you did?
Well, I was sitting in my chair and just thought, you know what, it would be really nice for you to come out to my backyard so I could share some good food with my friends and family, and I just put a little creativity in it, and you're here, aren't you?
Yeah. Now, it's a top 10 list. Did you do that intentionally based off Letterman, since that's a CBS show?
Well, yes, I have to say I did. You know, I thought, well, I couldn't do anything else, so I think that's what kind of made me do it. So, but yeah, I've always, you know, from the top 10 got you here.
Well, it worked, and you've already sampled some of the food, and it was good.
Yes, I did. It was very awesome. Very good. Very good.
All right, well, now you're going to help me out with the forecast. I've given you your sheet.
Yes.
This is the almanac.
Yes.
Let the folks know how warm and cold it was today.
Today was the high 92, and this evening's going to be low 72. And the average high is 88, and low then was back in, it was 67. But the record is 90 back in 1954, and in 1911 it was 52 degrees. So the participation...
You're participating.
I'm participating, and it was none. And I'm glad you guys are out here to see me.
No, we're glad to be here. Thank you very much. Big round of applause there. There it is. My rubber ducky and my frog are coming up.
Here, you gotta have a little.
You gotta have the goggles to go with it. I'm just missing some water wings. That's all I'm missing. All right, well, let's get to the rest of your forecast. I'm not sure I can do all this. All right. Here's the way things are shaping up. We've had a little bit of sunshine across the area today, and for the most part, it has been dry, although there were a few areas that did receive some rain. Jefferson City, just the western edge, did pick up some rain here earlier this afternoon. We are looking at pretty much dry conditions and mostly cloud-free here this evening as well. Temperatures are a little warm. We're still here in the low 90s, a few spots in the mid-90s, 95 right now in Max Creek. Lynn, you're at 90 degrees. It's a little warmer as we go into the Midwest. We are looking at 92 degrees right now across St. Louis, 94 for Jefferson City. And it is going to remain, I think, fairly dry as we go through the rest of your evening here as well. As far as clouds and radar, we haven't seen much on the radar scopes today, but as mentioned, there were a few areas that did receive some of that light rain. And as we go into your overnight forecast, it is going to remain fairly dry, although I think that's going to change as we get into your Saturday afternoon and maybe even a little bit into your Friday evening. We'll see a weak cold front slide through, and that's going to spark our chance of showers and thunderstorms as we go into your Friday night and Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon, I think we'll see some dry time, and then maybe a little bit of redevelopment as we go Saturday night and into your Sunday. I think Sunday will be a better chance for some of those rain showers. 73 or 72 roughly tomorrow morning. It will be fairly warm. Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to look at those highs back into the mid-90s, and that heat index once again back into the low triple digits. Your 7-day forecast will get a little bit of a break from the heat. We're still going to see a lot of upper 80s, low 90s, but for the most part, we are going to see a little bit of relief coming Sunday and into Monday, although better chances for rain for Sunday and Monday as well. That chance for rain will continue continue into the early part of next week. For the lake area, again, 96 tomorrow. We're looking at 91 on your Saturday, and a couple chances for rain will extend for Sunday into the early part of the week. Lots of food out here. On the table behind me, we've got some cut bread. We've got some spinach and even some sirloins back here. Rod, what do we got on the grill?
Hey, Chef Riley is hard at work. The steaks are on. Chef, how long do you go with these steaks?
About a minute per doneness level. So if you want rare, 1 minute, medium rare, 2 minutes, on up to about 5 minutes per side for a well done.
All right, we're going to test them out coming up later in sports. Back to you in the studio.
Can't wait for the steaks. Thanks. Well, coming up, a fungus threatens cattle in Missouri.
More on the spread of ergot next on KRCG 13 live at 6.
When your trees need pruning, stop, don't top.
If you got a tree where the people to see, Hamchest Tree Service.
16 players moved into the Big Brother house.
Let's get this party started.
65 cameras are recording their every move.
This is fantastic.
These house guests are ready to play.
I'm the toughest competitor.
And already hooking up.
There's lots of beautiful girls, good-looking guys. I want a showman.
It's not too late to join the summer's biggest party.
Yeah, that's an offer you cannot refuse.
A new Big Brother live CBS tonight, 9/8 Central.
Experience and trust. That's the foundation of Mark's Mobile Glass. Mark started in 1993, and he still puts one thing first: his customers.
I started this business out of my truck 20 years ago. I just wanted to find a quality glass at a good price for the people in my community. My customers wanted it done right.
They wanted someone they could trust.
When someone calls Mark's Mobile Glass, we want them to feel confident that we'll be there and we will stand behind our work.
After 20 years, one thing hasn't changed. That's our commitment to you.
Mark's Mobile Glass, we come to you.
Now playing at Joe Machens Capital City Ford Lincoln, the Summer Spectacular, featuring blockbuster deals. Grab a front row seat to incredible savings on over 800 new 2013 Fords that gotta go. Take in 0% factory financing, up to $7,500 in total savings, and starring an additional $1,000 matching down payment bonus cash. Don't miss the action. The Summer Spectacular at Joe Machens Capital City Ford Lincoln, 807 Southwest Boulevard, and 247machens.com.
Foundation failure is a serious problem that can devastate the value of your home or business. For practical, affordable solutions, call the experts. Call Ramjack. The patented Ramjack system of steel piles are perfectly aligned for maximum support and driven deep to reach load-bearing strata. Each Ramjack foundation repair has a lifetime transferable warranty, good for the life of your home. Call for a free on-site evaluation today or visit us on the web for more information. Rely on Ramjack.
Why are you shooting that?
I gotta get people's attention. We got a 2013 Ford Escape for just $19,995 or Ford Fusion for just $19,399.
Those deals should get people's attention. Hey!
Uh-oh!
Play your next round at Hill Ridge Golf Course, the home of better, more enjoyable golf.
Missouri farmers have reported cattle deaths due to a widespread infection of common pasture grasses.
Ergot is a feed grass fungus that normally appears in small pockets throughout the state, but this year it seems to be everywhere.
That would be a case of severe ergot infection right there.
Wet, cool spring weather followed by high heat and humidity have created ideal conditions for ergot growth.
What happens with that amount of moisture in the ground and in the plants, once it turns hot, is the state turns into an incubator.
Earlier this month, a farmer in northeast Missouri reported the death of 4 cattle after he moved some of his herd to a tall fescue pasture, which was in the seed head stage. The farmer says the cattle appeared to suffer from extreme heat stress.
These ergot bodies can have lots of different effects on lots of different species of animals, even humans. These compounds are very dangerous. They can cause hallucinations. They can cause people to have dry gangrene, lose their fingers, lose their limbs.
Ergot produces toxic alkaloid compounds that constrict blood vessels, increasing respiration rates, raising core body temperatures, and limiting blood supply to the extremities.
It's kind of like fescue toxicosis on anabolic steroids.
The hard ergot bodies look like small rodent droppings and are easily visible in the seed head of cereal grains such as barley, oats, wheat, and rye, as well as many common grasses such as timothy and tall fescue. The fungus is toxic to all kinds of livestock, from alpacas to swine.
If we have animals that are showing clinical signs, the best thing they can do is remove the animal from the source. Get it away from the pasture that's infected or the hay that's infected with the ergot bodies.
Experts recommend destroying any infected fields or feed. Now, scientists are researching whether the hay can be salvaged using ammonia, but that research is preliminary. One interesting footnote, ergot poisoning has been linked to human epidemics all the way back to the Middle Ages. The toxins are related chemically to LSD. And some scientists believe the behavior of people who ate bread from the infected rye may have played a role in the 17th century Salem, Massachusetts witch trials and even the French Revolution.
Well, turning to sports, where are the Tigers picked in the SEC preseason football poll? And who's on top of the British Open? Rod's in next. Live with sports from the Backyard Barbecue.
It's flying this Thursday.
Tonight on Dave, Ray Donovan star Liev Schreiber's generating buzz.
This flies.
Yeah. I thought you were taking a swing at me. All new tonight.
Are you looking for work? Do you know someone looking for a job? CNS Business Service has several immediate job openings at an area book distribution company. If you are available for immediate employment, stop by CNS today. Don't miss out on this opportunity.
The Ari Jose tweeted, need an SUV, #now. No way, Ari Jose. Right now it's the Honda Summer Clearance event, and you should get the Pilot. It seats 8 and it's loaded with standard features. But don't just take my word for it. What should Ari get? Pilot! And if a unanimous vote from people in a commercial isn't enough, we've got tons of great deals.
Want a new car? Get a great deal on one you'll love at the Honda Summer Clearance event, happening now.
Welcome to Furniture Showrooms. You may already know that we have over 100,000 square feet of quality furniture. But did you know that we now have hundreds of styles and thousands of fabrics available to customize? Create exactly the furniture pieces you want with top name brands like FlexSteel, La-Z-Boy, and Broyhill. Top it off with our volume discounts and you can't lose. Furniture Showrooms by JC Mattress, a smarter way to buy furniture. Come see why. And don't forget about our new design center.
Save like never before during the summer clearance event at Joe Machens Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. New minivans loaded as low as $329 a month, 0% for 72 months, and rebates up to $2,750. Transport your family safely and in style. The state's lowest prices and highest trade values. See why we're the area's new #1 volume Chrysler dealer. Joe Machens Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 1310 Vandiver, JoeMachensChrysler.com.
Find low prices during the Menards Priced Right sale. Dutch Boy Refresh Paint is the first paint with Arm & Hammer odor-reducing technology, delivering amazing color and durability while continuously reducing odors in your home. Right now, only $27.98 per gallon. Plus, save an extra 15% when you put it in the bag. That's right, Menards bag sale is back. Save an extra 15% on everything you can fit in the bag.
Save big money at Menards.
Are you looking for work? Do you know someone looking for a job? CNS Business Service has several immediate job openings at an area book distribution company. If you are available for immediate employment, stop by CNS today. Don't miss out on this opportunity.
Capital Region Medical Center. Better every day.
Welcome back to our Backyard Barbecue. We are here with Chef Riley. The steaks are ready, and what do you have on top?
It's a creamy blue cheese spinach mixture. Little heavy whipping cream, garlic, onions, spinach, and just a squeeze of lemon.
Oh, man. Oh, this looks, yeah, this looks so good. And we're going to give this to Mark Russell, the Executive Director of the Missouri Beef Council. And Mark, I'm going to let you do the serving again tonight. There you go. As he gives it to our guests here at the Ivan residence, I'm going to tell you a little bit about sports. SEC football media days this week finished up with a preseason media poll. The Mizzou Tigers in their second season in the conference. They are picked to finish 6th out of 7 teams in the East Division. Georgia is picked to win the East, then South Carolina, Florida, Vanderbilt, Tennessee, Mizzou 6th. Only Kentucky, they would be behind in 7th. Over in the West, defending national champ champion Alabama picked to repeat as the SEC champs. Texas A&M second in the West. The LSU, Ole Miss, Auburn, Mississippi State. And you don't see them, but the Arkansas Razorbacks are number 7. Mizzou running back Henry Josie is the latest to make a preseason national watch list. Josie is a candidate for the Doak Walker Award, annually given to the nation's top running back. Josie sat out all of 2012 after multiple surgeries, but he is cleared to play and is back at number 1 on the Tiger depth chart. First round play at the British Open today. Muirfield in Scotland. Zach Johnson from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. The 2007 Masters champ fired a 5 under 66. He is alone on top after that nice long eagle putt on number 5. Johnson leads by a stroke over Mark O'Meara and Rafael Cabrera Bello. Other big names, Phil Mickelson tied for 9th at -2, along with this guy, Tiger Woods, also at 2 under par. It's not a major, but our Bankers Challenge Summer Golf Series moves to Meadow Lake Acres tonight, hole number 6, our closest to the pin competition. Look who's competing, our good friend Brian Bearhorst and the Mid-America Bank golf team. Standouts Shelly Pearson, Cindy Schuline, Sky Maria. Bearhorst is sitting this one out. He will coach instead.
The way I've been playing, it's not hard at all. No, I think I'm a better coach and caddy right now. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
You know, Brian almost knocked one in one of these golf challenges. You know that.
It's amazing what you can do with Photoshop, I hear. All right, that was a nice one, Skyler.
That's my mother would say that.
Hey, we're going to have a lot of fun on the Bankers Challenge tonight at 10, but we're having a blast here at the Backyard Barbecue. The steaks are on. Darla, how are they?
They are really good. I expect you guys to come back next Thursday. Yeah?
You think we should come back again next Thursday? Yeah. You like the idea? All right. Well, we'll see. Teresa Johnson's in charge. It's not my decision. That's it in sports. Yeah. Thanks, Darla, for having us here. We'll be back in a little bit, but I'm going to enjoy this steak. Oh, my gosh, that looks pretty good. See you guys later.
Thanks. Looks like a fun place to be. I wish I was there.
They do make that food look good.
Yes.
Zach will have your evening planner when we come back.
Corwin Honda, Hyundai, and Nissan offering over 1,000 vehicles at CorwinJeffCity.com. Cars, trucks, SUVs, all online. Shop 24/7 at CorwinJeffCity.com.
Attention RVers. Love All RVs in Columbia is now Camping World RV Sales.
Don't miss out on the lowest prices ever seen in Columbia.
New travel trailers as low as $99 a month. New motorhomes as low as $499 a month. Buy an RV from Camping World and gain access to our Good Sam Elite loyalty program.
Offering incentives valued at over $2,000.
Camping World of Mid-Missouri, formerly Love All RVs, is now open. Save more on I-70 in Columbia.
We have everything you'll ever need at Camping World.
Missouri families and businesses have seen some tough times, but through hard work and perseverance, our economy is improving. Now, for the first time in nearly 100 years, our state legislature wants to take a budget surplus and return it to the taxpayers to help every Missourian. I'm Dan Meehan, president of the Missouri Chamber of Commerce. We applaud their efforts and ask you to encourage your local representatives to follow through on their plan this September. Visit growmissouri.com to learn more.
McCafe your day and sip in some fun. The sweet, tangy swirl of McCafe frozen strawberry lemonade and the refreshingly juicy cherry berry chiller are back, but not for long.
Every day from 2 to 5 p.m. at McDonald's, get $1 off all medium and large McCafe drinks. More great tasting refreshments to love.
Attention Mid-Missouri. Corwin Honda, Hyundai, and Nissan are proud to announce our 0% sales event. All new Corwin Hondas, Hyundais, and Nissans will be sold at 0% for 72 months. Not 48, not 60, but 0% for 72 months. All new vehicles, all 0% for 72 months. Don't pay interest on your next Honda, Hyundai, or Nissan. Corwin Honda, Hyundai, and Nissan. Right on the price, right on Missouri Boulevard, Jefferson City. Shop online, CorwinJeffCity.com.
Well, it is going to be a warm evening across the area. I'm looking out right now, not much in the way of clouds, so we will continue to see mostly clear skies, I think, as we go into your overnight hours. Still going to be muggy, though. Temperatures tomorrow morning down into the lower 70s. We'll continue to see a light southerly wind at around 5 miles per hour. Your sunset tonight is at 8:31. As far as what the next couple of days look like, it's still going to remain warm. We'll see a chance for rain move in late Friday night. Better chance for rain, I think, as we get into the closing end of the weekend. Sunday, a little cooler, 88, a chance for showers and thunderstorms. That front will sort of set up shop to our south, so we're going to see these hit-and-miss showers, I think, into the early part of next week. But there will be a little bit of relief, I think, Sunday into Monday, at least a break from the mid-90s. We'll get into the upper 80s, right around 90 degrees. It's about dinner time. I hear Rod over there with his plate, and Darla and the crew, and Darla and all her friends that didn't get to come. I'm supposed to give you the old Carol Burnett. Teresa Kermit, back to you.
They're missing out.
Did we see any of that food last week? We didn't, did we?
No, I think it's new stuff each week, but except the beef.
I'm just saying we didn't see
Oh, no, none of it came back here, huh?
It's our report. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you back here tonight at 10. Enjoy your dinner. Good night. The last video of Corey Monteith alive.
Plus the emotional reunion of the cast of Glee. For Rob Marciano, I'm Roxy Diaz.
And I'm Nancy O'Dell.
Where we found the Glee stars coming together in tonight's top story, the new photos, and talking to E.T.
You hold in your heart all the good things.
He was always aware that it was a gift.
And now, is this the last video of Corey alive?
Stay out of trouble and stay in school.
Plus, was he haunted by his troubled past?
Then, will there be a special Corey tribute at the Emmys?
There's an in memoriam that they do every year.
We're with the host, new nominees, and new bride, Kerry Washington, today.
Inside, I was jumping up and down.
Plus, which big stars got snubbed?
I'm backstage at the ESPYs with Bill Bellamy.
Hey, what's up, baby?
Find out what these sports stars really know about Hollywood. Halle Berry just got married. Do you know the name of her husband?
No sex, no kissing, vowing to be virgin.
What? Really?
E.T. with the controversial new documentary taking you inside teen purity balls.
We had our first kiss on our wedding day.
And America's Top Model alum busted, bruised, the disturbing mugshot. It's just a game. And the day J-Lo's mom kicked her out of the house.
There's the door.
Her life before she was a superstar.
Should I scream and shout?
Now, entertainment.